Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you caught my last video, you saw the shocking downfall of Cinder, the hellhound wolf VTuber. Today we are diving into the explosive aftermath that she has left behind with her actions. Refunds are still pending, merch drama is still flaring up, and legal letters are flying left and right. Here's what's happening right now. And if you're not up to speed, make sure you are checking out my last video, where we break down everything that Cinder did in around 8 minutes. Before we jump in, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and stick around until the end, because you don't want to miss the latest developments around Cinder and insider tips on how creators like Yoshi can safeguard themselves from other snakes. And a quick heads up, I'm a bit under the weather today, so apologies in advance for my voice, but anyways, let's get into it. First up, the moment that ignited Inferno. Viewers began asking, how long did she go? When allegations of betrayal and manipulation in Cinder. Rumors spread that Cinder, or more precisely her management team under her, had been ghosting collaborators and even forgot to cancel a fan subscription, leaving them out of pocket. Tensions have skyrocketed when Aruna tweeted that all remaining Cinder merchandise donations had been sent off, yet some fans were still stuck waiting for their refunds. And speaking of merch, Novel Horizons, producer of the upcoming $250 Demon Cinder figure that is coming out in February next year, found themselves in hot water, because they have originally locked in a strict no cancellation policy, but in response to the backlash, lifted time limits for refunds. However, due to Afterpay and PayPal restrictions, they couldn't process every refund directly. Instead, many customers were offered non-expiring gift cards with full cash refunds only handled on a case-by-case basis. Meanwhile, Crandall, no stranger to VTuber-themed candles, jumped on the drama with their "It's just a business" candle, cheekily marketed as smelling like a terrible apology. As you can imagine, this only added fuel to the fire. Talents who had worked with Crandall began dropping partnerships en masse, accusing them of poor communication. The community response was swift and vicious. There have been agencies who have publicly condemned Crandall, revealing that creators were being ghosted for months about product updates, only to see their candles vanish from the site overnight. And then big names in the VTubing world started to wade in. Silvervale shared a particular unsettling story. 4 years ago, Cinder had created a fan art of them together, slapped on a ship tag called #Silvervale, and even messaged Silvervale's friend Yoshi to ask why Silvervale's mom hadn't retweeted it. Suddenly, what seemed like innocent fan art felt manipulative and creepy, designed solely to drive engagement and grow Cinder's presence on social media. Silvervale's discomfort and the calculated nature of these interactions left her and many fans questioning Cinder's true motives. And then there was Vienna, part of the same girly pops subunit as Cinder. Vienna apologized for not publicly condemning Cinder sooner. Her CPU had literally been on the frizz, so she hadn't been able to see the news. But when she finally spoke up, she got roasted for not being angry enough. Vienna reminded everyone that people process betrayal at a different pace, and that flooding the conversation with even more blood wouldn't heal anyone. Her plea for empathy resonated with many who felt the community's outrage had turned way too toxic. And amidst the whole social media storm, legal experts have begun to chime in. At the heart of the debate was whether Cinder, or rather their management, had violated any laws by attempting to lock artists into exclusivity contracts without fair compensation or even transparent terms. Because legally speaking, exclusivity contracts are not inherently illegal. You can agree to be someone's sole artist, provided you negotiate proper payment and sign a valid agreement. The problem here was the optics and the over-explanation. Cinder's team preemptively justified the exclusivity with personal gigs and accusations, opening themselves up to claims of tortious interference and contract breach. And on one clear case involved BA, an artist who claimed there was a signed agreement in place, a breach by Cinder's side, and measurable damages. The triangle, contract, breach, and harm, is textbook for a valid breach of contract claim. Meanwhile, defamation was harder to pin down since much of the information had leaked internally rather than being publicly open by Cinder themselves. Still, as a cautionary tale, your manager's missteps are legally your own, and any manipulative tactics they employ can come back to haunt you in court. So, what does all of this mean for the wider VTuber scene? First, transparency and respect have to be non-negotiable. Fans pour real money into subscription and merch, intentionally or not, for the personalities that they love and want to support. When things go south, that trust evaporates almost instantly. Second, creators need solid, written contracts. Too many of them rely on verbal promises or handshake deals, leaving them vulnerable when disputes arise. So whether you're commissioning art, collaborating on merch, or hiring a manager, you should always get it in writing, and don't be afraid to walk away if the terms are not fair. And finally, as viewers, we should remember that behind every avatar is a person, because it's easy to get swept up in calls for blood, but vilification only feeds the whole drama cycle. If someone makes a mistake and genuinely wants to make amends, there should be room for growth, so as long as accountability is front and in center of their actions. And Cinder's saga is far from over. With refunds still pending, legal letters yet to be solved, and community's trust in the gather, this story will continue to evolve. But one thing is clear: the rules of engagement in VTubing are changing. Transparency, respect, and professionalism can no longer be optional, they are the price of admission in today. So thank you very much for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more insider takes about Cinder, and let me know in the comments who do you think is most at fault here, and how can VTubers rebuild trust with their communities. Also, if you'd like to support the channel even further, you'll find donation links in the description below. Until next time, stay informed and stay respectful. Peace and love.